Hello everyone, so welcome back to another stream. So this one's a special one. I've not done this in a while, but the last time we did this, we checked out some of the mass builder community's works on Twitter. Not all of them, because obviously that would take forever to go through, but we were just peering at what had been put up at the moment, and just having a look at what kind of crazy stuff you can build with mass builder. So we're back at it again. You'll see a lot of stuff, obviously, that I've scheduled up here. I'm going to more or less just gloss over that and really focus on stuff that, everybody else has been doing. So, let's get on with this. So here's Varen. Varen did this recently, from where I remember rightly. It's a really cool build. I love the way that the visor here looks almost like it's glowing, but it also looks kind of like it's see-through at the same time. Kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Rising and Zone of the Enders with the inspiration at the same time. And then what you'll see via a couple of people is they'll start making promotional posters for the builds. It's actually really cool right now that people go into that kind of stuff. They do a little bit of roleplay as well and build like lengthy, detailed posts about what the mech can do. It's pretty interesting. I'm not particularly into that side of things, but for those that are, it's a pretty cool thing to see people going into lengthy detail about their own suits. Got another one here. It's very bulky. It's using missile pods on the sides. I like the way that that's actually done. We've got what looks like some cannons as well on the side, and then a bunch of blades. Since the 0.8 update, the one thing to take note of is the simple fact that it's a lot easier to build stuff now. So what you'll see is a lot of crazy stuff going on with like backpacks or wings and other things. This is just something that's come with, the territory, with people learning a little bit more of how to use little tricks to get more out of their builds. Hey, Damon! Holy crap, finally, he says. I know, right? It's been a long time. I'm not doing the entire breakdown of what happened in 0.8. Before 0.9, but just showing off the content is good. Hey Shoga! This one, I really like this, because there are a lot of builds from Pat Labor, and I really like the way this is done. It just looks very clean, plus there's two of them. It's obviously photoshopped. That one's the 0, if I remember rightly, the type 0. Oh, okay, so that gets even better. What they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate the scenes from the first film with the Type 0. That looks so good. I love the little details as well. A lot of people have started putting more effort into the little decals that they have. It's going to be cool seeing if we get any more like that. Shoga says, better show my mech. If it's on here, because this is only the stuff via Twitter. I think I saw some of Damon's before. This one looks kind of crazy. I like the way that we've now gotten to the point where we can build practically anything, and I say that because you don't see too many humanoid builds, especially ones that are completely ripped, I do like this one, though. It kind of reminds me of Demon Slayer a little bit. I ain't on Twitter, says Shoga. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, what I did was I clicked Twitter, I clicked photos, and thought I'll go through it. Here's one. So Kira's a pretty good builder. He focuses mainly on Virtue builds. He keeps saying he's not as good as everybody else, and that he's stuck in his own, little world where he can only build this stuff. But dude, I think he puts himself down quite a lot of the time, too much. Because, check this out, right? This is a really, really good build. I've seen it progress over time. This is one of his latest ones. And it's pretty accurate to the games. I feel like Kira might be a little bit too humble or whatever. Or maybe he just enjoys putting himself down. I don't know. But he really shouldn't. Kira, if you watch the video later on, dude, don't do it. Don't beat yourself up over this stuff. This stuff is great. You don't see many Virtuoid builds. And I know he jokes about it and says nobody else does this kind of stuff. But I think what puts a lot of other people off is trying to get this close. Because he's doing really good at taking the source material and then copying it. We've got the AMA for the 3rd anniversary here, which is advertised, which, we're going to be checking out at some point this evening. The reason why I say that is because I've still got to get round to it. We've had some negative reaction to it right now. Still not checked it out, so it's going to be interesting. Cursed again. Cursed is another really great builder. Cursed focuses a lot on Mecha Musume, which is basically mecha girls. And Cursed builds are always fantastic. They keep on evolving and getting better as they go. I'm loving this sort of like knight build that we've got here right now. Honestly, it's like, I don't know how Cursed has managed to get his anime girl build so damn good. But yeah, I'm just looking at that now and looking at how many parts he's using for like the head and stuff. Because this did cross my mind ages ago about trying something like this, but it just fell apart really fast, so I never bothered to branch out of my own little area that I'm kind of good in. But I'm still trying to think about how he does like all the head parts and everything to make them all look different and unique. It's really mind-boggling seeing stuff like this happen, and it can only get better as it goes on, you know. So yeah, another really good build. Ooh, Sophia. Let's have a look. Very first build? Okay. So this one's called Sun Lion. Kind of reminds me a little bit of something like Gao Gaga. You know, when it's gone into like its super mode or whatever. This is all using what looks like stock frame stuff at the moment. Or at least the majority of it is stock frame. I'm starting to see little bits on here that are just changed up here and there that really give it a different look to your average stock frame. I've said this before, you really shouldn't rip on people that use stock parts. When you get more experienced, what ends up happening is you kind of shy away from stock parts and just be like, oh, no. But as a beginner builder, they're really good to get an idea of how everything works and stuff like that, and a lot of stock parts can still be used later on and implemented in different unique ways. So yeah, never beat down a person that's just started on the game for using them, because even so, this still looks really nice. I love the almost like gold look to it that it's got. It does have some gold in it here and there, and then it's got the yellow glowing effect. Looks really nice, and then they've changed up the arms a little bit. I do not know how they've done that, because I don't know whether you can do that via frame, because the rest of the frame seems to be covered, so I don't know how they've done the red glow there, or whether that's photoshopped, but that's a really nice build. Blitz says, I can't wait for 0.9. Indeed, 0.9 is going to be very interesting. Remember, we were doing this in 0.6, says Shoga. Exactly why you shouldn't rip on anybody that's doing stuff like that. Because 0.6 is where everybody was doing that kind of thing. Here's Cursed again. This one's a rework of the samurai build that they've got. I love this giant sort of ring on the back, primarily because it's hard to do stuff like that normally anyway. This one's done via the finger joints, or finger-looking joints, that you can choose in one of the later menus. And it's really, really nice to see. And then here we've got a different colour variation without that. But again, the hair's different, the rest of the armor's different to the knight build that we saw before by Cursed. I'd like to think that Cursed has a base build that comes with maybe just like the head ready and the rest of the body as like a base unit, and then just builds over the top of it each time. You know, it's just not... Most of his faces, if not all of them, look different. So yeah, it's almost getting to the level of like black magic for some of the stuff that you look at. Again, here's Cursed. We're going to see a lot of Cursed, and then I think I see Damon underneath. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll find out. So this is a Geta Robo build, or themed build. Again, Mecha Girl. So damn good, using all these different parts in different ways. Like, for instance, this rounded surface here, if I remember rightly, it's in the second menu under shoulders, or round there. Looks pretty neat. You've got what looks like two parts intersected here to make up the back of the arm, and then what looks like six bladed objects here, but then again, it's like, well, how do you do that over the top of the arm there? I imagine, to make this up, they've done... Let's try and work this out. So they've done one part there to make up the lower arm. Then that's two. Which leaves you with six left over, but that's definitely two parts there. And that's six there. I don't know. Maybe that's a weapon? No, because there's no weapon held in the hands. That's something I'm going to have to look at. Because That's going over the parts counter? Mr. Jahan says, get a girl is cute. Indeed. Kirst does a lot of this kind of stuff. Looks so good. I'm just trying to work it out. Is that 2 parts intersected or what? Because that's definitely 6 blades. Oh, no, wait, no. No. This is where it gets ingenious, right? So, there's 1 for the black part, 1 for the red part, 2 there. So that's 4 used out of 8. And then the blades are 2 parts. And the reason why I say that is because it's using the bladed wing parts for anyone that knows the game and is familiar with it. It's using 2 of the bladed wing parts to make up the 6 blades. You can just about make it out in the lighting here. It's the angles that Kirst is taking them at. You can just about see it there. The red part is actually covering up that. That's how he's got away with it. That's actually a really, really good idea for overcoming the limitations there. Oh, here's Damon's. Damon, I can't say enough about this build. So nuts. So Damon does a lot of crazy things, some of which I don't think he's confident about most of the time, or at least not when it starts off, but don't take that wrong. I'm not being offensive there. It's just sometimes you see people, they make a build, they make like a couple of things, like a couple of parts together, and they go, not too sure about this. There's a lot of thought and process that goes into Damon's builds, and goddamn, this is one of the best ones I've seen him do. This one's Optimus Prime from the Transformers movie. Absolutely love the way that it looks. It's basically captured all the key details, It's fantastic seeing this kind of thing work, because I think this is one of the type of things that I get at a lot, where I say, when I do builds, I look at the overall silhouette. I don't focus too much on the little details. You just make the overall thing look good, because you could spend time going in and being like, okay, I'll put this here, I'll put that there, and trying to make everything look perfect. But with this, the overall silhouette is just great. It looks exactly like what you'd expect and what you imagine Prime to look like when you haven't got the film on hand, And what I like most about this, and I didn't think about it at the time until I saw it, was the flame decals, which are actually the skull decals just used in a different manner. Again, it's that whole thing of, we're getting to the point now where a lot more people are getting confident with the tools and are using things in a different way to what you would expect. So this is why it's always good, if you're not part of the community or you're not very active, to get active and keep an eye on what other people are doing, because you get different ideas like that. Like, there was no way I would have thought of using that as a flame decal. But, it's one of those things where when you have somebody else's perspective, or you just look at something a little bit differently, you get a lot better quality stuff out of it. So yeah, it's a really fantastic build. I absolutely love it. It looks exactly like the source material. Like, I remember mentioning when Damon was building this up, the thighs were a little bit too thick. And it looked a little bit weird, but all of the proportions are fine now. All the proportions are fine, and it looks really great. Let's continue on here. And here's Bumblebee. So Damon's been on a Transformers sort of binge at the moment. Bumblebee looks fantastic as well, primarily because of the way that there's all these complex shapes from the films. And it's like, okay, I'll recreate that in Mass Builder. Again, if you've seen the Transformers films, but you don't have any screenshots on hand right now, and you just think, okay, I need to remember what Bumblebee looks like from the films, it's pretty much that. It's spot on, and I like the use of emissive materials here to make up the headlights. So damn good. I still want a flame decal, says Damon. I know, right? They could definitely use one. Hang on, I'm just double checking that. I think that's the same headpiece I use for my Gundam stuff. I think I'll make Bumblebee. Oh wait, there isn't any screenshots, says Damon. Yeah, that was pretty rough when I heard that. Here we go. So this one's another new build by the looks of it. It looks like a very, very thin frame. I do like the scythe-looking weapons here. It looks minimalistic, but I'm not gonna, knock it, because the shoulder shields look really cool. I like the use of colors and everything. You've got these really dull colors, but then you've got the red lights, like, highlighting it here and there. You don't see many frames that, use the thinner looking parts. It's very skeletal. It'd be interesting to see if, like this user builds up around this and does like any exterior armor parts on top of it. You can see what looks like those samurai style shoulder shields going on here almost. Don't know whether that's what they were going for, but it kind of looks like it. I love the way you've got the triple eye set up there with one of the easier parts to make or to make up that in the connectors section. But yeah, it's a kind of a simplistic design, but it just works. The color scheme carries it quite a lot. I really enjoy that. Kira again. So here's a different version of the Temjin that he's made. Kind of looks a little bit like, the Type 0 Pat Labor that we saw above. But the difference with this is he's built out the backpack, built out the chunk of it, and overall changed what we saw before into a completely different appearance. To be honest, I'm liking the chunk on that. And you can tell what parts it's made up of again pretty easily. He's using what looks like some of the chest or head armor parts, or they're meant to be as bits to block out the shoulder, and then some of the shield parts to really fill that in. I feel like this is kind of a prologue, or what came before the other one with the giant cannon on its shoulder that we saw before. Because it's using similar parts in similar areas to make up the same details. I do love the colouring on it, though. The colouring on what looks like bunny ears on the back here. And then we got, like, the micro-missile launchers. We got these giant knees. What the heck is that part? I'm trying to think about what part this is, because I think it's slightly camouflaged in here. I can just about make out it looks like one of these parts, but on the knee. But the way that the shape is made there, it looks really nice. Let's go down here. We've got some weapons. I was going to continue on, and then I decided that we saw a big blade here. Oh, that's the blade-looking weapon that the Temjin has from Virtue. I'm not sure whether that's the blade facing backwards. It's a little bit awkward to see. Would have loved to see that from a different angle, but still, it's a really nice build. Damon again. This is like Damon's best hits right now. So we got Jazz here. This, again, it's just like you'd imagine from the movie. Doing that head as well. Doing some of the head details here would be pretty nuts. I just love how the metallic paint job works against all of this as well. It's like it's that metallic paint job with the inner frame being almost like a bronze color. And the detail on the knees, I've just seen this. Because I did not see this get posted, or if I did, it went past me. Then you've got the wheels for the feet there. Jazz is kind of dated right now, but I still love it, says Damon. Dude, don't knock it. It looks really good. Like, I'm just loving the way that it's come together. I still remember it from the movie looking like this, so... Let's see. Killer Dragon? Decided to build a mass frame based off somebody's OC? Okay. So let's have a look. We've got these giant claw weapons. We've got almost like a Decepticon-style color scheme, and they've gone and used one of the connector things and squished it down to make it into a halo. Again, it's that use of, like, standard or matte colors or, like, duller-looking colors, and then the crazy colors over the top that glow to make up the details. I do like the halo, and the best part about this, I need the devs to make more levels or more backgrounds that have darker lighting in them, but not such a crazy background, because the darker lighting setups actually make all the metallic colors and the emissive colors just pop that little bit more, but the background kind of is a little bit distracting. So if you could get like a simplified background, but with the same style setup, it would be great. Do love black for the accessories. Yeah, the black works because it stands out compared to the rest of the unit. Kind of looks like a dragon a little bit. I think it's meant to be that. Let's have a look. Reminds me of Ava 01. So yeah, we've got the wings on the back that are black. We've got the shield. And the missile pods as well, they almost look like they're floating. And then the sword as well, it looks like there might be a tail there. The face is crazy, because it looks like it's boxed in. Does it have like a mono eye or something? No, it looks like it's completely boxed in. That's interesting. You just about see it there. Interesting face design or head design. Let's see. Here's another one. This is by the same person that I think built that really thin frame before. Inversion Zeta. Okay. Love how pointy this is. Could try and zoom in with those builds, potentially. Oh, I like that scythe. That kind of reminds me of the scythe from Ruby, I think it is. Like the Crescent Rose, I believe it's called. Like, I think that the entire color scheme kind of reminds me of that. Hi, John. Then we've got this Gundam-looking build here. Let's see. Because of the V-fin. I'm not so sure about the vents on the top here, because they look at it like they're in an extreme angle, but it's not that bad. Like, everything else looks so crazy and pointy that it's one of the only few things that my eyes are drawn to right now. The shield kind of reminds me of like a dragon head or something. I'm trying to flick between. Nice skirt armor. Indeed, it's really pointy. You can see they've used like the cargo container looking thing or missile looking container thing to make up parts on the back to bulk it out. And then they've given it a glow effect on the inside. I do like the way they've overlaid multiple parts here. You can see like the different layers that you've got here, including like the inner frame here. It looks like it's poking out of the standard part that's buried deep in there. Then this looks like a shoulder piece with a bigger piece on top of it, then another shoulder piece, then a bladed piece, and then another little bit on top of that. You know, it's nuts. I love it when people go into that amount of detail and layer everything up, and you can pick apart the individual layers and really kind of spend a lot of time looking at it and wondering, you know, just how it was made. Here's Kira taking a stab at some waifu stuff. This one's based off, I think, one of his Virtuon builds. Yeah, because it's got the big Virtuon sign there. I wasn't even looking at that. I'm looking at like all the other stuff around the screen, like the text. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be a humanoid version of the Feiyan. I do like the two different faces here. They look cool. Again, it's hard to get a female build looking right because of proportions, but it does look pretty good. The skirt is really nice as well. The skirt's made up of individual parts that are really well done because they're using, I think, shoulder armor that it has vents in to try and block them in a little bit more. Overall, really cool build. I'd love to see Kira and Kirst team up for maybe like one build that's kind of like this. I know. That would be really sweet. Then we got my stuff. I'm going to skip past my stuff again. Everyone in the community sees my stuff every 3 days, so here we go. Got another one here. I absolutely love this type of build. I can't remember. It's by Guest, I believe. Oh no, Guest has done it. Because Guest is showing off the build in the corner there. I really love the way this looks. Looks more unique compared to all the like Gundam stuff you get and everything. How late is the update? So 0.9 is supposed to be on the way. I think it's going to be out soon. I can't remember when they said they want to hit the deadline for it, or when they have a deadline for it. This is just soon. This one is one that I really like by Amber. So Amber does some really fantastic builds. This one is the Crisis suit from Metal Wolf Chaos. This is something that I've not seen recreated this accurately, and it's so damn good. For anyone that remembers, I'm a really big fan of Metal Wolf Chaos, and this is practically like a one-to-one recreation, including the cargo containers, which do open. Oh, it looks so good. It looks like the pistol has been made on that hand to make it look as though they can dual wield, but the idea is that the cargo containers open and present a massive array of weapons that can be used. And if I remember rightly, Amber has made other weapons for this that are from the game. It's just so good to see it recreated so accurately there. Really love that. It's such a fantastic build. John says, am I the only one who's done a Medabots build in this? I honestly don't know. Let's see here. This one's by Phantom. Ooh, I'm liking this. So, first thing that stands out to me, apart from the halo on the back and the crazy shield parts, is just the obviousness. It's the metallic color scheme. Stands out a lot from the rest of the builds here. We've got this nice flared out look, almost like either the Sazabi or a Dom looking lower leg from Gundam. Then they've got what looks like one of the bulkier knee pads going on here, and then we've got these massive, almost like Armored Core 4 inspired side skirts. Let's go in a little bit closer. Oh, that's it in red? Okay. We got these like external hand parts that are floating by the looks of it. I really do like metallic chrome in this game. It comes out looking so nicely. Oh, we got some fuel tanks as well on the back. Yeah, it looks like this has got inspiration taken from multiple different things, including the ring on the back, which has what looks like some large parts to cover up the fact that they're probably done on launchers. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I could be wrong. Let's look at this again from this sort of angle. So we got this head unit that's using the connector parts to make all these little eyes that are glowing on the head unit. And then the shoulders kind of look like they have these massive binders in. That's cool. And then trying to see, because each one is different. Like, I like the shards that are coming off here, which look like the part of the shield. But then this shield is different. And this weapon isn't really shown off. Because I'd love to see that, because it looks like it's got a beam bayonet or something. Oh, there it is. It's a rifle with a beam bayonet. That looks really cool. I love the way I say something like that, and then I don't realize I've already got access to it and make myself look really silly. Here's another one. Let's have a look. Ooh, pointy, and I love the use of decals immediately. The thing that pops for me here is the decals because of the fact that it's using orange on a dark, sort of greyish blue looking colour scheme overall. That, and it's incredibly pointy. Let's have a look here. So we got this nice sort of cloak thing that's going on the back. And then what looks like a couple of missile pods here that are camouflaged in with the backpack. Again, this is what a lot of people have started doing, is using the missile pods as backpacks for wings and other add-ons. You can even use them for other things, such as armor pieces. It's pretty neat. I like seeing the creativity with them. Almost looking like those blade parts there are attached to the arms a little bit. I do love these glowing katanas as well. I just love that. That build is incredibly pointy is the best way of putting it. But I really do like the way that it's just these little accents that really make the rest of it pop. There's my stuff again. We'll skip past that. Hey, Barricade. So here's another one of Damon's builds from the Transformers movies. I didn't actually get to see this one properly when it's done, if I remember rightly. Either that or I must have missed it. Absolutely loving this one so far. I love the use of decals to make up the police stuff on the back. That looks like it's not one of the shield parts. It's one of the rounded sections that you can see in the second menu, I believe. Second from the left. Some people use it as a faceplate for Gundams, or at least they used to. Like, it's cool when you can just, like, pick out parts like that and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Love the use, kind of like Bumblebee, the same way of making up the front grille of the car form here, and then using emissives to pick out the lights. And then I think, oh, that's the real wheels on the shoulders? Is that how the design is actually like? I can't remember Barricades, so... Doesn't he get killed in, like, the first film? I'm trying to remember who he gets killed by now. Could totally be wrong. There's Amber with more Pat Labor stuff. Barricade is weird. Seems like it. Either way, it's a fantastic build. We've got more of Amber's Pat Labor stuff. Barricade dies on the last night. Ah, okay. So this is meant to be, I think it's Alphonse from Pat Labor, not the Type 0 that we saw before, or Unit 2. I love the use of the beam effect part there to make it look as though it's got a stun stick. So cool. And then oh my god. The amount of work that's gone into making the kanji there for, I'm assuming, police or whatever. So what they've done is they've used a standard shield with only very minor parts to make it look a little bit more bulky. And then the rest of the parts, it looks like they've used to make up the letters or the symbols. I don't even want to try and figure out how many parts. Actually, no, go on. So some of this will be decals, some of this will be parts, I reckon. That looks like a decal. Couple of the... Try to look at which ones are 3D, because then that one there that looks like a U, like a giant U shape, that one looks like it's partially 3D. These bits look like they're 3D, but then some of the other ones look like decals. It's hard to make out. It'd be good to see, or try and make it out a little bit more just what is a decal and what isn't. Because I imagine like that J there, the J, the O, and some of the other stuff is not decal, but the problem is you've got 8 decal slots. And, let's think. If you use one slot for this giant white part here, then you've got another 8 free on the top part of the shield, and then 7 free on the bottom part of the shield to make up the letters using physical pieces. Oh my god. Right, no, I don't even get it any further into that. That's going to be crazy. That is a really nice use of parts and decals, though, to make up that kind of detailing. Ooh, Gian Archer Artemy. Okay. I love the way that they've done the head unit here. They've made it look as though it's almost poking through. I know this one. It's the one that looks like the bee, kinda. Ooh. Okay, so it's meant to be what looks like GM particles or something coming out the back. Oh, I like this. That kind of reminds me of Valvrave. I like that. I like the use of parts in it and the fact that it's a way more of a feminine build, primarily because of the use of rounded parts. And the fact that the base suit that's come off the Archer is a feminine-looking suit. So yeah, I really like that one. I love the way they've made the Stinger at the back as well. It's only just visible in these... That's awkward. I really wish it was more visible. It's done using about 2 or 3 parts for the Stinger. I just wish it was more visible so we could see it a little bit better because of the overall theme being B-shaped. There's Amber's Pat Label build again. Oh, there's an Exia build? Okay, so I see how they've done the shoulders and everything. That looks really cool. I like the way they've used the sort of metallic colours to bulk out the GN condensers here and make them look pretty accurate instead of having them all glowing. Looks like that's only a single image though, yeah. Let's see. Another nice build here. Again, using simplistic colouring and then decals and highlights to make things pop. So we've got black with a pink and purple style colour scheme. And then white decals to contrast against them. And then these massive melee weapons. And then what looks like some shoulder binders with boosters on. And then what looks like some giant wings at the back as well. And some floating Gatling guns, maybe? The decal on the use on the Exia was great, says Damon. I'm just checking this out now. Again, different ways of using parts that you would never think of because of the complicated build-up of parts on the chest here. Still can't get quite a good look at the back of it because of the posing and lighting and stuff, but it does look really nice. Oh, then we've got Blue Star. Blue Star is fantastic. Young says, is this game free? Unfortunately not. But normally it goes on sale pretty often, so Blue Star's done another build here. This is what looks like a dragon of sorts. I've seen him actually do this and do like a video of it. It looks so crazy. Especially the legs, how they bend backwards or look like they bend backwards. Honestly, you can see the parts that make up the dragon head and everything and the wings. And while, you could probably recreate it, it'd take some time and potentially look off compared to that. They've got a big, bulky boy here. I love the use of some of the larger parts to just bulk things out and make them look really chunky, really easy. You got what looks like some giant ammo containers or missile pods coming off the side, and then these other giant missiles that are stuck on in different ways right next to each other as well. And then we got two shoulder cannons going on. Just love chunky builds just because of how they look like this. Like, got some what looks like ammo containers mixed with some normal cargo containers, and then some other connection parts to really bulk out the knee here. And then even the feet have these like bars over the front of them to kind of give them a little bit of protection. That backpack is massive though. What are those things on the side? Oh, I see. They're the missile pod things that are around the back. Okay, so they're done using the two parts either side for the ammo pack things here. Then we've got one of the head armor things, and then we've got two other what looks like missile containers with a little part in between just to fill in the gap. I think that might be done using missile launchers, but I can't confirm that. Either way, it's a neat way of using stock parts underneath as well, because you can just about see the stock parts here and there to bulk it out. I love the vents at the back here. I'm just noticing that now. They've used the bulkier chest pieces and stuck the vents on the back because the legs were already bulky, so they had to fill them in some way. It's like, okay, we'll just throw this in here and we're good. That backpack, though, is so massive. Not in a bad way, it just looks really cool. There's Amber again. What's this one? Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Camphor. But then you've got these cool plasma cannons over the shoulders. Those, I think, are they the backpack or the energy weapons? It's hard to tell. I love the smoothed out design, which I think is using mostly stock. The head, though, is completely custom by the looks of it. Those are missile launchers that are camouflaged, I think, and then are made off the backpack. Either way, that's cool. You got the fuel canisters as well here. I love the really simplistic color scheme as well. Still trying to figure out which missile launcher that is, because it's so camouflaged in there. I think it's one of the large missiles. But yeah, I love that, because it's very minimalistic with its color scheme and how the parts are used and everything, but it does look really nice. It blends well together. Let's look at this one. Ooh, hello. So not your typical Gundam head. It kind of looks like a super robot instead. They've got like this glowing core that's surrounded by all these armor parts. Ooh, okay. Okay, so the top portion of it looks kind of bulky. The bottom part, though, definitely the legs are bulked out lots. And then it's got some nice wings. Oh, I really like that sword. I really like the way that sword's done. And the way the pose is done, it really shows it off nicely. Plus, you get to see a lot of the other different parts used here. It's not exactly like the previous build where it was super bulked. It's more like medium, in terms of the way that it's built up. Really like that. Like, it looks armored up and ready to go in just the right areas, and then the rest kind of blends in well with it. Like, the shoulders are definitely not as bulky as the lower arms. But it kind of works in its favor. I really like that. Ooh, Estrella? Okay. Again, it's hard to do Gundam builds. People say it's pretty easy, but getting them accurate is crazy, especially trying to get them done and make them look clean. Really liking the look of this one so far. I see what they've done for the faceplate there. I always look when it comes to Gundam builds at people's faceplates to see what parts they use. That one's using one of the arm parts in the second menu from the left. Then I love how they've done the GN drive there, or rather the glowing core part that houses the energy from the GN drive. Like the double O suits are particularly hard to get right in Mass Builder just because of the way that most of the designs, especially like the head sections, are full of curves and everything. It's just such a pain, but I really do like the way this one looks right now. The use of colors and everything to pick it out, just highlighting different bits and everything. It looks pretty damn good. I complain about Transformers builds, says Damon, but Gundam builds are really hard to get perfect. Yep, and there's different ways of doing things as well. You can either focus on like every little detail and make something like super accurate, or you can go for a simplified build, which still gets, the same sort of looking build, but uses less parts, so you can build on top of it. Each person has a different way of doing it, and it's interesting going through and looking at them all, and just seeing what other people are doing. I like this one, because the wings on the back immediately, you've got that kind of like almost moon-looking crest on the back. Let's have a look here. Okay, so it looks like it's built off the back with 6 parts. So I don't think that's done using launchers. That might just literally be bolted onto the backpack. You've got this kind of like pointy-looking back skirt and then a tail by the looks of it. Here's where I find out it's dragon-themed or something. Because it definitely looks like it. You got this crazy crest going on. I love the use of colors and the way that they made it look like it's wearing another set of armor on top. Yeah, they're using the scythe parts for the crescent moon bit, and then also for the wing bits. It's got like a rifle which has a wing on the bottom of it as well. The drones look neat. Yeah, it looks like the sort of yin-yang elemental style ones. Keep going down. I'm loving all the stuff that I'm seeing so far. Ooh, hello. So this is another one. Kind of looks like either a super robot or a transformer. Love the blades here that have the reflective metallic color on. Hey, X-Ram, nice to see you in chat. See what else we got here? Oh, okay, so yeah, all in on the super robot theme. We got this giant sword. Funny thing is, it literally reminds me of like a watermelon, because you got the green color there, and then you got the red with what looks like a darker red going in there. It just reminds me of a watermelon now. I don't know whether that was what they were going for, but reminds me of it. And then you've got these giant backpack-looking thrusters, I think, with the wings coming out. Love the way they've changed the face there, though, to make it look as though it has a nose and a mouth to give it that super robot feel. And then they've really bulked out the shoulders and the lower legs, and everything else looks in proportion, so that you really are drawn to these areas with the different colours and how big they are. See what else we got here. This was the one from before, I believe, but with action poses. So we get to see the weapons now. So the beam blades that are built up, they look really neat. We can see the head a little bit closer as well. Really like that. They're using stock parts for the back of the head, but then they've kind of improvised with one of the shield sections and then put another layer over the top of that, and then built up the bottom and built in the mono eye that's there by stock, and then just made it look a lot more detailed. And then we've got another weapon here that looks like a beam cannon. Can't be too sure. Like the way that's built out, though. There we go, looking menacing with the thrusters on and the fuel tanks. Oh wow, so there's the Type 0 from Amber. We didn't see this before. It's the Type 0's extending arm that it's got from Pat Labor, and they've used that and tried to camouflage the normal hand so that it looks as though it's shooting its arm out. That's really cool. I like how people get creative like that. It's even got the wiring on the inside as well. I like that. I like that. Even though you can still see the original hand, I get what Amber was going for there. It's good. I really like that. Okay, so we got Gundam Virtue. Let's have a look at this. Again, another 00 build. This is slightly tweaked. I believe this one's going to be partially custom. I like the way they've tried to get the GN cannon going there. They've got the extended barrel that comes out for it as well. That just looks so bulky on the back. They've got like 2 giant cannon parts, and then they've blocked them in with shields either side. And then they've blocked the rest in here with like these massive parts. I'm getting pinged here, but I can't answer that while I'm streaming. I do like that. That looks fantastic. I love the bulkiness of it. Is combat the same or is it better, says Young? What do you mean? As the demo or that Virtue must have a bad back? It could be an actual gunplay, says Exram. It kind of looks like it could be one, yeah. There's more from M.A.S.S Type 0, and then it stops there. Goddamn. Let's try the latest for Mass Builder and see what we get. Okay, so we're back here for some of these. Some of these we've already seen. There's Blue Star's Gao Gai Ga, but it's it's Thomas the Tank Engine in the center. Like, any changes to combat from before, because I really don't follow this game, says Young. So combat did get updated a little bit, with melee and some funnels and stuff. And some extra weapons. I can't remember whether melee got changed a lot. There were some changes made to shooting, if I remember rightly. Mainly tweaks to the funnel weapons and stuff. But either way, combat's pretty good in this. People will tell you that like melee is pretty bad compared to shooting in this, but if you combine certain things from the kit to your melee build, then you literally become this unstoppable force of blades that just swings around the level. I love the way that it's just Thomas the Tank Engine at the center of a Gao Gai Ga build. It looks so crazy. I don't know how big that is for you guys there on screen. But it's just funny watching it fight the boss there, and then you can just see how it's built up. Oh, okay, so let's see. That was for the AMA, I believe. Oh no, it might be a character voiced by somebody. We've seen that build before. There's my stuff. Notes about the AMA. I think we've seen all of these now. Or most of them. There's Blue Star's Dragon Build as well. Everybody else is playing as a standard mech from like your favorite Super Robot series or Gundam or Transformers. And then Blue Star's up in here playing as a literal dragon. See what else we got here, because the AMA I have to go over at some point. We've seen all of these, apart from mine. I'm just going to have a laugh and show off that. That's the Age 1 Assault jacket. I'm still happy with most of the stuff that I've done. Little tweaks here and there that can be made. Either way. Here's the Metal Wolf Chaos build from Amber, including the container that actually opens. They've tried to play it so it looks like they're picking weapons from the container. You know what, Moody? I challenge you to make an Ava in M.A.S.S. Dude, it's already been done. It's already been done. I love the way they got the moonlight there. It's so cool. Oh, Mega Man build? Not by you, though. It's one of those. I think I'm just going to stick with SDs for now. I got started building SDs, and I tried going back to real types, and I just can't do them anymore. I'll just stick with my SDs. It's kind of a shame, because I do like building real types like this, but I just literally can't do them anymore. Is that an SD? No, it's one of the builds that we saw before, but just the way that it's posed here, it looks like it's smaller. I do like the coloring here, the blue against the white and the green and everything. And I like the stock backpack there, because it still looks really good. Hey, there we go, Knight of Gold. by somebody here. This is Power Shovel. The only problem is, because it's on the sand style background, it looks super bright. Really do love all the details in this build, though. Looks so cool. My eyes, says Damon. Yeah, it's the only problem with the sand level. It is so bright. It's like it's hard to make out the details because the light bounces off the metallic surface. Does look good, though. I really like that. Needs more brightness. Have you done Gundam Aquarius? No, I haven't, X-Ram. Is Blue Star's angel build, I believe? It looks like an angel. I love the way he's done wings. They're so complicated with the wings. It's made up using multiple parts. You get 8 parts between the launches, but I do believe those launches, I don't think they're the round ones. They're camouflaged somehow. They're camouflaged somehow in there because you've got way more parts than you should be allowed to have there based on the limit. Might be a case of they've got 2 launches there to make up both wings, and then I love the way it's just going around the front as well. Looks like nukes. Maybe. I don't know. It's like the amount of parts that are used there. Each one of these is an individual her part. There's no way you could do something that complex with just 8 parts. Like, you do 8 parts on one, 8 parts on another. Still doesn't get close to the amount that you need for that kind of detail. Plus then the covers on the actual launchers themselves to camouflage them. I don't know how they've done that. They've used one of the smaller launchers and then covered it up with... that allows you to bypass the limit. And then they've built around it. It has to be that. Excuse me, freaking out there because I'm having a drink. Oh, hello. Completely different build that I've not seen before. Kind of crazy looking at it. Some parts reminded me of like some of the other stuff that I've tried to build for like the Hazel or the Woundwort from Gundam here. You got like these giant shoulder pieces that are linked into grabby arms. Lots of grabby arms. And then you've got the central headpiece and cockpit that looks like it's one thing together, and then these legs that have grabby legs on them. Really unique design. I like the coloring as well, because you don't often see what looks like either white or very light pink used. Let's go down here. Oh, and then to top it all off, they've made it have laser effects. It's okay, just this giant thing with lasers all over the place. That is so cool. Kind of looks like the Chaos Gundam in mobile armor form with claw legs. Kinda. I just love the way that they've gone ahead and added all those like parts on it as well to give it like, you know, the effects of it firing. So cool. Updates on different quarks. Somebody's new build. Kind of reminds me of Ninja Turtles a little bit. Because of the color scheme and the way that it's designed. But I think it might be based on that. Or it looks very close to it. I like that. I like that if only just because it's like this lizard-looking ninja style thing, especially because of the way that the toes are segmented there. They look like they were in Tabai, I think they're called. You know, the sandals that you can get in Japan that have the well, they split your foot like that. There's the angel build again with the face. Blue Star was one of the first ones, I believe, to get anime faces looking so damn good. Along with, I think, Cursed shortly after. It could be the other way around. But yeah, Blue Star's got some really, really good looking stuff. If you've not already checked them out. Where's the Bionicle builds? There have actually been some, Young. I don't know whether you're kidding or not. I just can't find them here at the moment. I don't think there are any at the moment right now. But I do know there are some. This almost looks like somebody's attempt at doing Metal Garurumon from Digimon. Let's have a look here. Don't want to run the audio in the background just in case it's the Digimon theme song or whatever and I get copyright striked by Susan. It looks like they've literally just left it there just for the entire video. That's, I would have loved to see the entire build, because it definitely looks like that. Like what I'm thinking. It's just they kind of ran in the corner and then just recorded it for like 2 minutes. Don't quite understand that. There's a new boss being shown off by Vermilion. There it is down here, instead of being quote tweeted. There's guests doing the GPO too. This was a fantastic build to see. I still don't know whether the proportions are off, but goddamn, it's fantastic. The reason why I say that is because, like, the GPO 2, it has kind of bulky arms and legs, but it almost seems like the torso is, like, kind of tiny. The legs are super massive, and then that's it. I don't know whether it's just me. No, it might just be me. Either way, that is a fantastic GPO 2 build, especially the way that the launches have been used to do the booster binder things. So damn good. You don't see many GPO 2 builds, primarily because the head is really hard to get done. I love the way it's using the giant nuclear bazooka there and the shield. But, like, again, I'm not being a dick by saying this, but seriously, go look at, like, some of the artwork for the GPO 2, and then look at that picture. I swear there's something off about it. Some parts just look a little bit too tiny. And, you know, it's not me being nasty, it's just my eyes are picking it up and going, wait a minute, something's slightly off here, even though it looks fantastic. There's something slightly off. No. So good, though. Literally, there is no other GPO 2 build that I know of in M.A.S.S. And that one just, it looks so good. Chest is massive on the original art, says Damon. What about the arms as well? Because I don't know. Just have a bit of my coffee there. I do know the GPO 2 is massive, but I think the arms are fine, says Damon. Okay, so it might just be me then. Maybe literally it's just the chest because of the chest looking kind of tiny compared to the pelvis and then everything else. But either way, I don't want to take away from the fact that, you know, it's a fantastic build. Be interesting to see close-ups of the head and see how Guest has actually done the head there. Not so much the faceplate, more the back of the head, because I imagine it might be a little bit messy. I don't know, it's just me thinking out loud and being like, maybe because of the way you have to line up parts and stuff. Amazing Lady Nightingale from Sage. Ooh, this one looks pretty cool. I like the, what looked like a bayonet on the bottom of the rifle there. And the use of parts to make up what looks like sleeve details. Classic says, just woke up, feeling better, throat not swelled as much. Nice, Classic. Nice. Nice to hear that you're okay. Hope you continue getting better. Because I imagine it's not over yet. This one just invokes a mixture of, like, all of Shaw's suits, really. I know it's meant to be based on the Nightingale. Or at least it looks like it, based off the name. But it really does just give you that sort of impression, especially with the colour scheme and everything. It's just really cool. Oh, hello. What? That's unique. So it's using mostly smoothed out parts and then emissive ones in between. Okay, I like that. That is really unique. They've decided, okay, we'll go for like this really smooth looking build and only really use those parts, and then you can see like the stock frame on the interior there. Honestly, I think that's going to be one of my more favorite builds from all of this stream right now, is literally just because of how it looks. That is really unique compared to everything else. I love like the blue neon glow, yeah, but it's more just the use of all these smooth parts together with some of the more rounded connectors. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, there we go. There's a work in progress version, so you get to see it. Oh, I see. See, they've used two of the rounded parts to make up the torso that way, and then a lot of different rounded parts here that way. Okay. Okay, interesting. Then they've used the blade parts there. They've used the rounded inner frame as well here. It's really neat seeing how some people use the parts. There's Kira's build again, full armor. Again, Virtue build. It's not bad though. Really love the way that it looks. Love the color scheme of it as well. Like the poses he's chosen for this too. Again, it's built off his Temjin build. So it uses mostly the same parts, just switched out here and there. But that's not diminishing the fact that it is an overall really nice looking build. Damon says, did you see my Ratchet build? I did in Discord. It actually looks really nice. Wait, what? What's this one? Cursed? Cursed did one and I didn't see it? Oh, okay, I see. So this is one of Cursed's other builds that he does, where he does, like, the anime girls that ride mechs. Maybe I just forgot about this one? I don't know. It's an anime girl riding in a giant mobile armor of sorts. That looks so cool. Is that using a hacked frame or what? Because it kind of looks like it. Because the legs aren't there. X-Ram says, gotta go. Take care, Dave. Thank you very much, X-Ram. Hope you've enjoyed. I'm trying to figure out, like, the cannons look like they might be missile pods. That's gotta be a hacked frame, right? Just the legs aren't there. It's not often that you see people using hacked frames in such a way, but... In fact, I don't think I've seen Cursed used hacked frames at all like that, but I do love the way that it's like this quad-legged or spider-legged looking thing. Damon, what do you reckon? Hacked? Because it's showing all the signs of looking hacked right now. Like the way all the little details are done on like the hood there and everything. So clean as well. Not hacked, says Damon. Okay, where the heck are the feet then? Where are the legs and the feet in that? Unless, wait a minute, is it one of those builds where if you posed it any other way, it would look broken? Maybe here, the reason why I say hacked is because I was imagining that they've taken, like Cursed's taken the legs and literally just thrown them to the sides. As far as they can go. I don't know, because I was going to say, I've never seen Cursed use hacked frame before. I'll have to actually ask Cursed about that. There's Kira's one that we saw before, I think. Or is there a different version of it? Wait for it to load here. So there's the different ones. There's the full armor. There's the different one, the support one, and then the heavy battle one. Each one's slightly different. I do love the use of different colors here as well. It's so cool. Because that was the original, I think. And then this one's the slightly modified one. Using, I think, more traditional colors for the Temjin. I could be wrong. See, there's Kira's again. Oh, there's the same suit. Guess doing the bound arc. This looks really good again. That's got to be another hacked frame because of the scale of it, I think. Could be wrong on that one. Love the asymmetrical design of the bound arc and just how they've done the head. It is a hacked frame. Okay, okay. Oh, I've seen this one recently. I saw this as, I think, an advertisement on HLJ, actually. I've seen the mech itself that it's based off. Love the way they've done that samurai armor by layering up all of the shoulder armor here. Just one on top of the other, all underneath each other. So cool. Again, it's really neat when people can get so damn close to the reference. Ah, there's Kira's not Temjin Feiyen. So this is the female build. I talked to him about this for ages, and I was like, dude, you gonna do the female builds? And he's like, you know what? We can't get any closer via standard frame, and I don't want to use hack frame yet, so maybe not. And then it looks like he's given in and used, I think, if I remember rightly, he said he used a slightly hacked frame to get the proportions a little bit more feminine. Either way, it looks really good. Again, as usual, it looks spot on. You know, for the reference. Really nicely done. I want to see what other Virtuaron builds you can do. You know, modded community strikes again, says Dragux. Suddenly jiggle physics. No. There's a work in progress for the Bound Arc. There's one of my Symphogear builds. But again, I said I was going to just pass on mine because everybody sees my builds practically. There's another shot of the other build from before. Again, I can't get over how they've layered that armor up. It just looks so neat. Hello. That one looks cool, if only because of the massive amount of glow in the background. Let's see what the details are. Okay, I'm liking the vents lit up either side there and the very pointy face. Looks really smooth. The problem here is the lighting at the moment. I can't pick out all the small details properly and really make out how they've done this. Kind of reminds me of one of the builds from Super Robot Wars. Let's have a look. No. I'm wrong about that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, so we got a little bit of clipping here and there, but sometimes you can't avoid that. Do love shots like this where you can see just how people have layered up all the little parts and messed around with them to really make them look unique or give them like different designs to everybody else's. I do love that first shot though, the backpack with the glow. So cool. Realize the blank colored backgrounds are best for pictures. Yeah, basically. Like, that's why I want a blank colored background, but with, like, the nighttime lighting on, because it'd be so good. Classic says, I just made a Gym Sniper 2, heavy arms and new Gundam funnels, added a mix on the game. Wish I could snap a pic, but I haven't had time lately. It's fine. Oh, this is a new one. I've seen this one. This one kind of reminds me of Darling in the Franxx. Somebody else has said that here too. But they've gone the whole hog and made it. I think it's more like a Centaur build now. Yeah. The thing that reminds me of Darling in the Franxx is mainly just the color scheme. But yeah, it kind of looks like it was inspired by it. Either way, I like the Centaur looking build. Looks so cool. It'd be interesting to see what it's actually like in gameplay though, because a lot of these builds, I can't remember like how many people say like they only build certain ones just for looking at image-wise and don't actually use them in gameplay. I try and make all of mine so that you can use them in gameplay as well and not have them really break too much. You know, so it's basically reflective of, you know, what's in the image. Is there a part limit per... There is a part limit. There's 8 parts, or 8 additional parts per part on this suit. But you can get around it in a couple of creative ways. This one, I like this, because it just reminds me of something like a Full Metal Panic, because of the way they've built up over, again, the stock thin parts. But they've made it look just that little bit different. The head unit kind of reminds me of something off Armored Core as well. These giant, like, this giant beam cannon thing that has what looks almost like radiators going along the side of it or something, and then either a targeting sensor or another cannon on top. Maybe a ray dome, and then some extra vents and stuff. That's so cool. People get really creative with this kind of stuff. Weapons giving me a PSO vibe, says Proof. That reminds me, I need to go on the new one that people have been asking me to get on. We'll finish off with this one. This one's by B-Clown. I've seen B-Clown do a load of builds. This one is nuts. So it's got extra arms, kind of similar to when I did my Hazel Osler arms. You know, the giant arms one. This one has like an SMG in one of the hands by the look of it, and then a rotary cannon in another, and then a giant cannon, and then what looks like a blade here. So cool. Oh, it's a sniper cannon as well? I loved this one and how he didn't mess with the sliders. Yeah, like some people, like a lot more people are using hacked frames now. Like the only hacked frame I use is for SDs. And even that, me and Damon came up with it. So, you know, it's not exactly like I just turned around and went, "Oh yeah, I'm using hacked frames. That's it now." You know, and we didn't put in any effort. We put in a lot of effort for the SD frame. But yeah, I like when people don't use hacked frames now just to see what they can come up with. I see what he's done. He's made a fake rifle on that arm. Love these giant rotary cannons on the backpack as well. And then the massive feet there, including the, you can see the back supports there that he's made with the pistons and everything. So cool. I like the head design, because the head design's really unique. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Armored Core mixed with something else. I just don't know what, you know. Trying to think about it now off the top of my head. Maybe some Full Metal Panic stuff. Maybe a bit of Front Mission Evolved. I don't know. Could you look at the top of Twitter, says Damon. I can refresh it. Yeah, hang on. I think my Ratchet build is up there. Okay. Let's go latest. Hey, there you go. So you get to look at Ratchet now. Isn't that White Glint's head? No, it's very similar though. So this is Damon's Ratchet from Transformers the movie again. So damn good though. I love the way this looks overall. Like especially, I didn't even know some of the design was like this, like the tires on the back. Love the way you've got this looking. I also like the way it looks like. I'm trying to remember Ratchet in the third film. You get to see him get taken out by M.A.S.S, I believe. It's either M.A.S.S or the one of the other groups that are hunting Transformers for the Transformium. But I think isn't that the bar that goes over the top of the driver's seat? Because that's the front grille with the bars on and the lights and everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm right. So yeah, that's the top parts. They both join together and form the front section of the roof over where the drivers and passengers sit at the front of the vehicle. So good. I love the use of the parts here to fill in the details as well. Like to see the G1 series. It might be easier to do, says Classic. Depends. We've got a load of people that have made some G1 stuff. I remember asking for G1 Rotorstorm and G1 Metroplex and got both of them done by Odysseus, who's a really good builder for Transformers stuff. And then I think we also had G2 Laser Prime done. I'm going to have to check that one out. Because I think I remember a couple of weeks back recommending that. Also, yeah, Damon's got a load of stuff on his Twitter account for like G1 Starscream and stuff. If I remember rightly, weren't all the Seekers on the Discord too? At one point? Because literally all the Seekers are just recolors. I don't mean to belittle the build, but you know, it's one of those whole things. Once you've done Starscream, you just instantly throw different colors on, and away you go. You've got like another 2 to 3 Seekers there. But yeah, it's fun again looking at everybody's builds and just seeing, you know, what's happened to Mass Builder. And the big jump between 0.7 and 0.8 is definitely the inclusion of missile launchers that you can put on the legs, backpack, chest, shoulders, or pelvis, either sides. People are doing some crazy stuff with the launchers. You can pull off some interesting tricks to get around certain part counts. Overall, it's brought in the advent of backpacks and wings being now popular. A lot of people are building off the back of the suit and building winged suits and other things. Stuff like that used to be a neat little trick when 0.7 was out, where you'd build off maybe half on the backpack, half on the neck, or maybe somebody would build off like the pelvis or something and raise the parts up. There were different weird and magical ways of getting everything to work the way you wanted, but with the advent of the launchers, it's definitely allowed people to include a lot more detail because there's another, at minimum, 8 parts there that you can work off. I think in total there's 16 parts on a launcher if you get the right one that you can build off. But yeah, 0.9 is going to be nuts to see what happens with that, especially because 0.9 is supposed to include a little bit of the multiplayer, as well as, I think, some new missions and new boss and some other features. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what it's meant to be. Either way, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you for sticking around with me. I hope if you were in the video at any point in time, if your work was in the video, that you've enjoyed the coverage of it. I try and provide as much coverage as I can for people. Again, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in future with M.A.S.S. I'll try and keep you guys up to date with it, on top of everything else that I'm doing. But yeah, thank you very much for keeping me company and taking a little bit of your time out of your day to spend with me. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye!